Alright, so today we're going to work on what's called spinning the center line. A lot of times I just call it a spin-off. We're always spinning the center line on our opponent. Whenever we step to the side, the center line is here straight in front of him. When we step to the side, it's over here. So we're spinning that center line, okay? When we do a spin-off, though, we're doing it in kind of a defensive manner. And what this will help us do is if we get in trouble with the knives, we can establish distance from this guy without exposing ourselves, or while limiting our exposure to being countered or attacked while we move off while we spin the center line. A lot of times I call it moving off the center line. You can't move off the center line because it follows you. It's on you. It's your base, so you can't really move off it. You spin it. Okay. So again, spinning the center line is a concept that helps us quickly establish distance when we find ourselves in a position we don't want to be in during a confrontation. The concept is performed by stepping in any manner and with either leg away from the threat's fighting center, and then stepping through with the other leg in the same direction, such that the leg sweeps behind the leg that stepped first. The second step will cause our body to pivot so that our fighting center is again on the center line, and we now are 2 steps further from danger. During the movement, it is important that we crouch as low as we can, turtle our shoulders, bring our head down, keep our eyes on the threat as much as possible, and maintain a good guard. You want your hands, it's okay if you spin like this, but a lot of times that high ready position with the knife is a safer position while you're moving. Let's see, this concept is an excellent method to get us back in the lead of a OODA loop, because we'll get our fighting center back on the center line, ready to make a decision and act while the threat is still trying to get reoriented to us. So that's one of the big advantages, is you step and spin the center line and do your pivot, and you wind up to the flank of this guy plus a couple steps away, and the first thing he's going to think is, I got to get turned to get back on this guy, and now you're already in your position, and as he's stepping into you, you can start your attack again. So it really helps you get ahead on the OODA loop. And this is more knife fighting, let's say, than a lot of the other techniques we've been working on. What we've been working on is a quick counter to an attack at us, and we've been working on some basic combination attacks. This is more knife fighting, where 2 guys get a knife out, and one makes the attack, somebody makes a move, and all of a sudden, now it's not a knife attack anymore. Now it's a knife fight. 2 guys have knives, and they're going to start dueling each other for this position. Now you'll read a lot of articles from different guys who teach knife fighting, and they'll say knife fights don't happen. I beg to differ with it. I've seen several knife fights happen, and I've been in a couple of them. If you hang out at a lot of military type bars, in military towns, biker type bars, anywhere, inner city bars, okay, knife fights occur in these places. Okay, 2 guys get the knives out, and all of a sudden they're dancing with knives. It happens. So this needs to be a part of your curriculum. You can't just say knife fights don't happen. I'm not going to train for knife fights. Well, knife fights do happen, and you do need that in your toolbox if you're a knife fighter. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And this kind of gets us started in that situation where it's going to make it very hard for the other guy to ever get that knife on you while he's doing his little dance of the death. And it's going to make it very easy for you to take advantage of him during these situations. And we'll go ahead and we'll get started with some drills on that. So he's in a stance. When I'm spinning the center line, what I'm going to do, I'm going to step and drag here. And then very quickly I'm going to spin. This is where the real spin is. I'm going to take this big spin here. So starting here, and instead of just dragging from here and then stepping again, my drag is going to step through. It's going to cross the other leg. But again, I'm going to be in my regular orientation with my knife forward. So again, I could just go like this, but now I've got my back exposed. I don't want my back exposed. And I could just go like this, step through here, but I didn't really get anywhere. So again, if I use the step and drag, which we're accustomed to, moving off his fighting center with the step and drag, we're accustomed to that. And that's just going to spin through this big step. And again, I can do a little drag at the end of that. Again, I come here, I step here, and I can drag at the end of this. So you see how much distance I've created. Now, the time that it takes him to start turning, I can come in with an attack again. Which would be a nice going to his arm, because that's the target he's going to be with the aluminum. So anyways, I can come in again, and I can catch him while he's still moving. Now I can put fingers in his eyes. Now I can come in here and start coning and go for that knife blade while I'm cutting his throat. But that's a big advantage. It causes him to have to orient to me. And again, I keep moving. Now it looks like a boxing match. I keep moving here. Why does a boxer keep moving? Boxer keeps moving so the other guy can't get a nice measure him up for a punch. So you keep moving. The other guy has to now reorient. You'll look for an opening in there. Same thing as a boxing thing. It's what we're doing here. And that's what I'm talking about. This is your pure knife fight now. Two guys out in a parking lot. You went out to talk to somebody. You know how it works out. You're a fucking asshole. No, you're a fucking asshole. Why don't we go outside and talk about it? All right, motherfucker. So this guy's out in front of you. You see him going for his little hand here. So what do? Well, you go for your little hand here. All of a sudden you get outside and he gets to the door and he turns one of these at you. Now you have a knife fight going. You're going to be like this, and you got your knife in. What did you better do? Well, you lean back from that first one because it caught you off guard. Now, boom, you step over here. You spin the center line. This guy has to turn. Now you have a chance to take an attack at him, or you can run off if you want to. If you want to be just a safe guy, go run away. Of course, this guy might run faster than you, and now you've given him your back, and he's chasing you with this. I've seen some nice slashes like that. Remember the picture that I have for my screensaver, that guy who ran away, got cut. So anyways, that's basically what we're going to do. We're now going to do this an infinite variety of ways. Not really infinite, doing a video, it's got to be somewhat finite. But when you see the amount of drills we now start working on this drill, it's going to be a lot of drills. Just like I've got about, there's over 50, I would say, different drills we're going to do. So we're going to do this 50 different drills, let's say, 10 different times each. So by the end, Scott's going to have a pretty good idea of what he's doing. And if you're following along with a qualified instructor, or you're a qualified instructor, and you've checked out your health and everything, join us in this little exercise. And again, it looks simple, and it will look simple the whole time. But until you get this particular footwork ingrained in your subconscious, it's not going to come out when you need it to. That's what we got to do. We're programming this stuff in so that it will come out when we need to. So we don't have to think about how we're moving. We'll just move. Again, you want to bring that knife up to the high ready, which we'll be talking about a little more coming up. So I'll be here. Just a big step out of the way. Now something I can use a push-off, check of sorts, to help me move away from this guy. So here, we got all tangled up, we're in tight, we're in tighter than I want to be. I'm just going to push off this guy. Do the other side. Now here I'm taking 2 steps to get back on an orientation. So you can see how far I got. Now, if you don't want to get that far, you just want to shorten those steps up. So I'm going to be here. Just 2 quicker steps here. So get here. If I just step and drag, it leaves me right here, a pretty good position. But again, I've lost control of this fight somehow. I've been caught off guard. I want to get away from this guy as far as I can, or as far as it needs to be. So again, that's where this spin here is what helps me off. So the name also, when I call it spin off, is because we're spinning. So we're spinning off the center line, but really we're spinning off of his fighting center. It's not about to aggressive. And again, it could be nothing more than BAM! Hit him in the neck with that knife. Okay, you didn't step and drag. You just skip. You did a skip step. So I'm happy you did a skip step. Something worked. And I taught you. You're useful. But yeah, this time you got to step through twice. Try it slow, real quick. Okay, step through. Now you're nice back to the orientation. I like the skip step though. That's what I'm talking about. You know, you go through a lot of these reps over and over and over and over, like we did with the skip drill. You know, we did the whole things here, back and forth, back around and round and round and round. It looks stupid, but believe me, you're working on realistic movement, okay? Not this kind of movement here. You ain't gonna use this kind of movement in a real fight. Get the fuck out of here if you think you are. You're a dumbass, okay? Sorry about that, that's reality, okay? You're not gonna move like that in a real fight. You're gonna be jumping around like a freaking bunny trying to get away from a freaking bear or something. Okay, that's just the way it is. You're fighting for your life. You're not fighting for a karate kata trophy. Okay, you're gonna be jumping around. You're gonna be looking like a fool. Okay, but if you know how to do it properly, and you took instinctual, basic movements, added a little training to them, and you're gonna jump into them. So here, my man Scott, he wants to move quickly out of the way. He wants to look good for the camera, that type of stuff. And what comes out? What we trained in is what just came out. Okay. I mean, what do you want him to do? You want him to be like this while he's moving back? It's preposterous. It's preposterous. It's asinine, okay? Throw your black belt away, get in some street clothes and start training realistically, okay? That's what I did. So anyways, you saw the training, it came out and we did that little skip step. I digressed for a second there, but that's important stuff. This is something he just learned a little bit ago. He wasn't doing skip steps last week. He just learned this, okay? We did it last week, so he started doing skip steps last week, and now when he wants to move quickly, it comes out automatically. It's because we did a lot of drills with it. We went back and forth afterwards. We got the knives out. We went back and forth. We added a little stretch to the situation, so now it had to come out, right? That type of stuff. That's how you train for a real fight. Bitch, I gotta kill you. Okay, you did it again. So there he goes again. So that's why you have to start out slow with these drills where you learn something new and train it in. Yeah, now see how far away you are. And he wants to skip steps. Just start bringing those knees up higher. See how much further you got with that first step. Now you don't have to go that far. Just bring it up high and move fast. 2 quick little steps afterwards. 2 quick, there you go. Okay, so the first drill was stepping off to the left, the second drill was stepping off to the right. Now we're going to step off to the left again. But when we spin the center line, we are going to go more forward. So again, we're here, you know, whatever the thing is, and I want to get away from this guy. Put your hand where it's more like controlling my knife. Yeah, like that. So now I want to get away from this guy. So again, I would come here if I could, push off here, and get to the back of him more. So I want to get more to the back of him if I can. So that's a spin move here. So again, just starting here. Just sitting here like this, and stepping here. So I'm getting more to his back than I am just to his front. And of course, this requires a bigger adjustment by him. And that's what's critical about that. Of course, might this knife be doing some work while I'm doing this move? Yes, it might. That was that drill we did the other day when we finished up number 4 where we just were like this. Now all of a sudden I can be like this. I'm doing this here as I come across. Or just hitting this arm as I cut across. Or he's got my arm here. I'll trap my arm somehow here. So he's trying to trap my arm here. And as I step, I just cut this great real artery as I come across here. So again, the knife still needs to be in play during this. Right now we're just doing a footwork drill. Now I'm going to use a little check off while I'm doing that. And again, if I can get here, he responds, I check now, respond, I check. It's going to be very easy. I got him on the blind side. He's trying to find me. boom, here comes a cut. And again, this is for when we got in trouble. We're not sure where we're at. We're not sure where his blade is. All of a sudden, we get lost on where his blade is. You know, we came in and we tried to, just come in with a nice check straight. So I come here like this, and for some reason, I fan on this. I catch this here, and all of a sudden, this guy's quick. He brings his hand down for my knife. Now I'm in a very unhappy place right here. I mean, we're in an even Steven place. I want to get ahead of this somehow. So this blade is here, so I'm going to push off this blade and try to get here. That's when this comes in. Now as he tries to turn, I'm going to skewer him. Now I'm here, and I've got a chance to get ahead of things because he had to react late. It's just little pushes. We're not pushing each other hard. We're just trying to get our body movement going. But this guy's going to have to take effect. I mean, I don't know how big he's going to have to be to not take some effect. Go ahead. So when he pushed me, I got to return and get this comeback. It becomes very hard to counter this spin move that this guy has done. This is also forming the foundation for what we're going to use in our unarmed versus knife defense. Now it's just step. Again, I keep moving my step. Again, you're going to keep moving those steps to the rear while you do the step throughs this time. So instead of just stepping here, stepping for distance, now I can step here, stepping to get further behind him. Now he's not just going to let me do that, of course. He's going to be trying to follow me. So that was where the check would become important. Let me just do a couple. Just do a couple try, and then we'll get a check. So that last one almost becomes more of a step and drag. But it does actually cross in front of you. So again, whenever you can, you want to focus on that weapon side, weapon group here, you know, the shoulder to the wrist. And again, this is going to be a lot slower moving than this. And again, when I have this, it controls a lot of that blade movement. Okay, it's not going to stop it like this is going to have a better chance of stopping it because I've got more leverage. I'm further down the lever. But this is going to be highly effective, especially when I start spinning him. I start spinning him on the center line also. So I get double duty there. So now when we start going forward on this side also, this becomes more of a step through than it does a step and drag. Because I'm not going to the side and dragging. I'm trying to go forward, so I'm coming here like this. If he's coming forward with force, you know, the Wing Chun guys know as well. If he's coming forward with force, that's going to make it very easy for me to get around here like this. Now you start seeing how devastating that is for him. Now I've got him trapped. I got my weapon in a great chamber to attack from. Right.